There's been a little development in this whole thing. They were getting along great, and I took Gary yesterday to get a health check. And so Billy was in his cage all by himself. And at the end of the day, when I came home and I brought him back, and I put Gary in with Billy, they started fighting a little bit. And this morning I woke up and Billy had like blood on his mouth. And I'm not sure if Gary has a bite. Gary had a little scratch mark on his butt, but Billy also has kind of a cut on his lip. So they've been squabbling a little bit. So I started removing stuff from the cage, and that did okay for a while, but still, no matter what I would do, they were just chattering teeth. And so I brought them, and I put them both on my chest, and we had a talk. And when they're sitting together on my chest, they were fine. So I set up this little Midwest out here with just a little blanket and all their stuff. Not all their stuff, but some stuff. I actually just had the tunnels at first for a while, and then I put the box in later. And then they've been out here for long enough, I decided to put the water bottle on because they were just eating veggies before. So I'm like trying to slowly introduce things that they might fight over as they prove that they're okay. They've been doing a little bit of interactions, but that's what I like about them, is that they actually like each other. They make each other more active, and they mess with each other a little bit, but there's no aggression. But then when I see a bloody lip, see there, so there's that, and there was blood on his fur, and I don't know if it's the blood from his own cut or if it was blood from biting Gary. But I've had really good success with taking them out of their environment and putting them here. And what I might do, I'm definitely going to clean their cage before I put them back in it. But what I might do is I might put Mike and Snoop in the cage that these guys were in, and then put Billy and Gary in that other CNC in the corner in the back. Because it would feel like a completely new place, and I'll set it up different, and maybe it will be just enough to keep them on their toes and keep their peace. But right now, for the past 2 hours, they've been fine sitting in here. But all morning before I set this up, they were fighting, they were chattering, they were like chattering teeth and facing off. It's just that Gary doesn't really want to mess with Billy. It's a fight you can't win. But Billy's not the best fighter, apparently. Billy, let me see your lip. But since they've been in here, they've been fine. So right now it's just a wait and see. And I mean, look, he like lays down. They both lay down together. So I don't know what happened yesterday when I had them apart. So I guess maybe that's it. Don't keep them apart for too long once you've got a bonded pair. Then they start to enjoy their extra space. I don't know. It's weird, you know, guinea pigs, they need companions, but boys especially, they're very picky as to who that companion's going to be. But this has been a great match for a week, and then there was one disagreement. You know, of course, leave it to Billy to bond with this cute little guy for a week and have my heart totally melt, and I totally let down all my guard and all my defenses, thinking that he was part of the crew. So I don't know. Billy, can you be nice and make this work? I hope so. I hope so. So this is just the update. Here's what I'm trying. In this cage over here, I've moved Mike And Snoop are now over here, and I made them a new house. Their house was just falling apart. So over here, I'm going to move them from outside back in here, and hopefully they won't start a fight. If they do start a fight, I'm just going to move them back out there, where they've been getting along just fine for the last 6 hours, like all day. This morning I noticed they were fighting, and then I set up the cage this morning, as I mentioned earlier, and they've been fine all day. So let's bring them back in. Okay, I just put them in there. I'm gonna go grab the rest of their stuff. If they start fighting over stuff right away, I'm gonna take it out. And if they can't get along, where do you guys want your stuff? I want it where you guys aren't going to fight over it. Okay? No fighting, really. Let's see how this goes. Set up the other tripod so we can watch. Hi, Pipsqueak. You want to watch this? And I can still move this camera around. Okay, I'm going to give them their water. Hey guys, look, it's water. So they're now where Snoop was. Basically, they're still going to be side by side, the same pigs that they were. Right, so Billy will still be side by side of Pipsqueak, but actually now he'll get an even kind of better view. Pippy! Who is that? This might be, this may be why there's all this problems. Billy gets himself so worked up. But hopefully this will work. Billy, hey, focus on your new surroundings. What do you think? It's just, I was working on other videos and stuff, but basically all day long I've had to babysit them and make sure that they're not going to rip each other's ears off. Well, Billy's settled in. I wonder if Gary's allowed in the house. He's got his tunnel, escape to the other house. What do you say, Billy? Billy's got his view of the other boys. Hey, Gary. Did that bother you, Billy? I really want this to work, Billy. It's been a week. We've all had our hearts set on this. So I gave him a new box. I like this box. It's got windows, multiple windows on like many sides, multiple windows. And I think it contributes to the feeling of airiness and like he's not going to be enclosed. There's not someone in his space. Gonna be good, Billy? I hope so. So, keep you posted. After spending that whole day outside in the Midwest, and I thought they were good. They were fighting again the very next day. And so last night I had them back out in the Midwest in the living room, and they were chattering and chattering and chasing. And you know, this little guy, he is a teenager, and he has been challenging Billy. But Billy has been coming up and taking chunks out of his butt of fur. There's really no wounds. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't want to ruin their beautiful nap. I wanted to actually show it. Billy is really nice and gentle when he wants to be. Maybe these guys will go hang out. He's coming back, Billy. Look. So maybe they can... He does this thing where he purrs, he rumble struts, and then he gets super submissive. I'm talking about Gary, he lays down. And Billy, he perceives it as a challenge, and then when Gary gets in a super submissive mode, look at this. What are you doing, Billy? Two cannot fit in there. Billy may be getting possessive about every little thing in this cage, of which there's not much. The point of this little moment was that Billy can be very sweet when he wants to be, and he can relax. And I think maybe he's showing off for me. I don't know. Guinea pig behavior is, right, the wise masters say, you know, the only ones who know anything are the ones who know they know nothing. Right? The more I know about learn about guinea pig behavior, the more I realize that, you know, they're just unique personalities. Don't give up on love, everybody. Relax, Billy. He doesn't like the camera super up close. I've taken all their houses away, and so Billy, that's all he's got. Nothing to fight over. You're gonna hurt yourself, man, flinging this thing around. If you can get along with him for another couple days, maybe I'll put your house back. It's been an emotional roller coaster. And everybody's got bit. The funny thing is, this guy comes over to snuggle. You know, he wants to kind of prove that he's willing to hang. He does his little chin rub. Then Billy gets all upset sometimes. Sometimes he's cool with it, but when he gets upset, he chases him around. This guy goes into a completely dominant, submissive stance now. That's his new tactic, is he just super lays down. He gets crazy flat, and then, you know, what are you going to do? Attack a rug? Billy doesn't know what to do once he lays down super flat. But sometimes he doesn't lay down super flat, and he challenges them, and they get up in each other's face. He's got a couple little bite marks on his butt, and Billy's got a lip scab. But I'm not going to separate them when they have a little fight here and there, and then the rest of the time they are either giving each other their space and freedom to explore, or they're laying down like this, snuggling. So, if they really, really, really hurt each other, then I'll separate them. But if they just get into these little disagreements and there's a little clump of fur in the mouth, you know, because they got along perfectly fine without any fighting at all for a week, and now I love this little man. That's why I'm annoyed at Billy. It's like, get in a fight at the beginning and say, hey, I don't like this guy. But don't get attached to him. Don't get me attached to him. But maybe it was my fault for separating him for a day when he went to the rescue. to get his health check. I should have brought Billy along, because when I brought him back, Billy was used to his space again. Do it again. Do your little popcorn. Gary like rubbed up on Billy and they were purring, and then he popcorned like in midair. It was amazing. So I ran and got my camera, but of course he's not going to do it now. Oh, hey! That wasn't a popcorn. Oh, you just got owned, Gary. What did he do? I just missed the hugest Gary popcorn. Gary, Gary, Billy, Billy. Billy and Gary, they get along 90% of the time. All day and all night, and then like every couple days, like in the evening, they'll have a little fight, and then they'll like go back to like laying down right next to each other, and it's no big deal. So right, I wanted this thing to be cut and dry, and now it's not, and so I don't know what to do. And of course, they waited until I was completely attached to Gary before they started fighting, because that's how it goes. But I think that it is possible also that having so many pigs in here, when something crazy happens in one, focus. When something crazy happens in one area and then they hear it, it upsets some of the others. But at the rescue, we have occasional fights, and it's not a big deal. But I'm not trying to rationalize. But right, what do you do when you have guinea pig boys that are fighting, but they get along most of the time? It's like they're fine. They're fine right now. What is this? What is it, Billy? How are my baby boys doing? Hi, baby boys. Hi, Billy. It's just me. Oh. Billy. Hi, Gary. Hi, Billy Poops. Well, it's been 2.5 weeks since these guys have been together. And it hasn't been perfect. We're testing out this toy, incidentally, if you notice the new toy. But they have been getting along. Let's just see what happens here. Whatever happens here is pretty much a good example of how they've been. Every once in a while, he comes in and challenges him, and Billy tries to nip his butt. And so, yeah, I'm talking about you, Gary. And so I want to keep trying. And he's a teenager, but he's probably about 6 to 8 months old, and he might just mellow out. but I'm very, very protective of him. You know, if I really want this bond to work out and I'm not giving up on him, then of course I don't want him to get hurt. I'm so protective of him, but he's a little scrappy dude, as you've seen. He's hilarious, he's tough, and he's rambunctious. Was that a popcorn? What are you doing? I'm gonna have to play that back. I love that. So, you know, we'll see. I'm running out of battery here. This is how it's been. What are you gonna do, Gary? What are you gonna do, Billy? We are all just sitting here trying to figure it out. Oh. And this is it. So I'm just like waiting, trying to keep my heart in bubble wrap. So part 2. Is basically, you know, they're still together. And it's freaking adorable, and it's heart-wrenching, and it's inconclusive. But it is a happy ending still. That extreme light is from my fish tank, if you're wondering why it's so bright over there. And the lights coming from under the cage. Also, the LED lights. If you didn't see that LED video, here I'll put a little pin to it. Right there. Really nice cage lighting if you're got your cages in kind of a dingy, dark corner. So that's it. Billy, can you instill a little confidence in everyone? I mean, can you instill... Jeez, it is late. Can you instill some confidence in... Can you instill... Oh my gosh. Right? Instill in us some confidence in you? That's what I meant to say. I was like, I'm going to have to break out a thesaurus. No showing off, boys. So this is it. This is how it's been. If anything changes, I will post another video, and I feel kind of obliged to post another video regardless, or at least, you know, continual status updates on the social media avenues, the ones that cater to shorter videos. So oh yeah, and also I do post stuff to the Patreon that you don't see on the Instagram. I posted a shot earlier on Patreon of my phone video editing software. Gives you a little glimpse into the interface that I'm looking at when I'm making these videos. Sometimes I edit on my regular desktop computer, but I downloaded this video editing app on my phone, and it's decent enough and real easy to use, and it allows me to weed through all of the footage quickly and easily, and then export something out and even upload it right to YouTube from my phone instead of having to wait till I get home.